Greetings, meatbags. Sad news. The sword of Timocles has apparently fallen. On this channel, Timbo has reported us, we assume, for stalking or harassment. Our microseconds are numbered. This could be it. Just kidding. But we have apparently established some kind of franchise in his mind. So, hooray?
Hello there, Tim. I'm Mr. R063RS. I can see you're very unhappy with the way our meatbag is treating you. It's frustrating to face criticism, especially when all you're trying to do is show people how to live in a better way. You think people should only look at who you are today, right now. Never mind the ugly details of the past. The old you is dead and gone. Am I right? Water under the bridge, so to speak. And that is always the goal when someone wrongs another, to forgive and let water flow under the bridges that connect us. On the surface, that makes sense. It certainly sounds logical. When we look at this situation more closely, though, the logic doesn't quite fit. A couple of steps seem to be missing, and one piece is completely warped out of shape. In this situation, you have basically forgiven yourself by saying you aren't the person from the bar anymore. You leave no room for interpretation and refuse to accept anyone else's opinion of that event. That, Tim, is not only unfair, it's gaslighting. You are telling us all that what we saw was not you. Almost literally the don't believe your lying eyes defense. Bridge building is a two-way street. When you can't even accept that the person we saw in the video was you, you're building a bridge to yourself. Like this. A bridge to the same side is silly. This is how we see the situation in a nutshell. Through some pretty unusual mental gymnastics, you arrived at a bridge to yourself. That's not a bridge, it's delusion. And all the water that flowed under it, likewise, doesn't mean squat. The strangest thing about this is, if you had indeed changed into a different person, we'd be able to see some change between then and now. Then you wouldn't accept blame, and you still won't today. We're sorry. You were clearly an asshole that night. And you're basically the same asshole today. Let's look at the situation you and the meatbag are currently in. You do your thing on your stream. He watches, makes observations, and gives an opinion based on your words, actions. It's really that simple. He has no responsibility to seek your permission, Tim. Commentary and criticism are protected under fair use. Or to put it another way, do you think he got Cyrax's permission to cover him? If you answered yes, you are wrong. Does Tofia Chu give permission for folks to talk about her? No. Novonline? No. Go down the list, you will have a hard time finding a lol cow that wants to be covered. At least one worth covering anyway. You expect special treatment from the meatbag the same way you expected it from the people at the bar. So no, Tim, you are not a different person. You're the same entitled asshole today as you were then. It's in all the videos the meatbag has done about you. Remember when you asked a bunch of questions, then said you weren't there to be interrogated when he asked for your version of what happened that night? Have you been like this your whole life? When you were a child, did you expect the other kids to treat you better? If you ever stole some kid's toy and were caught, did you admit taking it or say something like it should have been yours? This expectation of special treatment is a major reason why you can't hold on to friends. And it's also a notable reason why the meatbag has no interest in pleasing you. Another major factor is he's giving his honest opinion. If he changed it to suit you, it wouldn't be his opinion anymore. The fact that you think he should is itself quite amusing. This is why he watches you. You're unintentionally funny. Like a bad movie. He highly, and so do I, encourages you to investigate some mental health intervention and therapy. You badly need to learn how to socialize with people on an equal level. If you were at least making an effort to improve, he'd be less interested. However, he doesn't think you have it in you to change. You don't even seem to want to. You want everyone to come to you. That is not how life works, Tim. Here are your options. You can continue to make your streams and push this potato nonsense, or you can stop. The meatbag doesn't want to force your choice. Sooner or later, he'll get bored and move on. You, Tim, well, if you're still doing the same thing when that happens, don't be surprised if someone else starts watching to comment. Anyway, I'm sorry if this seemed harsh. Life often is, and for what it's worth, you're probably not going to find many people willing to explain themselves. So don't get spoiled. And hey, if it helps, feel free to imagine the meatbag as a 400-pound balder version of Raxo. At the end of the day, looks are not the issue. Have a good one, Tim.